Hello and welcome to Toneless Painting with M. Francis McCarthy. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy, and welcome as well to day 21 of 25 Days of Tonalism Volume 2. The painting we're doing today is a really neat little, well, I don't know if I want to call my study neat, but it's a nice study, I think, after a really neat painting by John Francis Murphy, one of my favorite painters, and this is really one of his paintings I like quite a lot. There's a bit of a story behind this in that I went ahead and did the whole painting, or not the whole painting, but you know, all of the main bulk of the painting, which was the first color pass, and I had noticed that I had inadvertently hit the tripod my camera sits on and was basically filming a wall the whole time. And so my solution was to paint the study again. And so I actually had two versions of this, one of which I've got consigned in a little gallery at the community art center that I have my studio at, and the other one is in a box, and I guess I have in my mind at some point to have an exhibition with just the tonalist studies in it, although depending on how things go with my store on Squarespace, I mean, I'm just getting started there, and I'm not really aware of all of the, it seems like there's some limitations to it, but at some point I may decide just to roll things out there as well. We'll see. Anyway, for now I'm keeping the sets together and getting back to the videotaping the initial version of this. I thought, wow, that's just no good. You know, I really want to share this with you, and so I painted it twice, just for you. Okay. Francis Murphy, John Francis Murphy, there's actually a really nice playlist on my channel of not all of the studies I've done after John Francis Murphy, but there's a lot of studies after John Francis Murphy, and some of the most recent ones I haven't gone back in to add those to the playlist, and I'll probably do that when we get to the end of this series, which is, you know, it's looming. Now, I had discussed whether I would I have started and done quite a bit on 25 Days of Tonalism Volume 3. However, we've hit some snags in that I got other projects have attracted my interest, and I will definitely be getting back into it at some point, but there may be a delay where I get into another project. So those of you that are really into the tonalist studies after the tonalist masters, I would apologize for that, but all I can say is that I'm pursuing my own mastery, and sometimes the studies, you know, I do these really for educational purposes, and I have to say that doing these studies has improved my work immensely. It's almost incalculable. Either way, you guys know what I mean. And if you're a painter and you're into tonalism, I recommend you do the same. You know, actually, you can just go to my blog, and you'll see that the originals are always there underneath my signature. And pardon me, load it up, you know, on a laptop, or actually what's good is you can find digital frames quite cheaply, or you can use an old iPad or Galaxy tablet or something like that. You just get that image up and get it at arm's length away, and make a study after it, and I have to say that it's improved my work dramatically. And I think if you look at my older work and the things I've shared, although to amend that, the things I've shared were usually the best things from those eras, the older things I've shared. So doing these studies after the masters, it's taught me more about composition. Like, for example, if you look at this Francis Murphy, his composition is amazing. It's great. you really can't do any better with a landscape painting than what he did here. It's just awesome, and I'm so attracted to this sort of composition. And the only way I know of to do good composition is by practicing a lot, doing a lot of paintings, and basically trying out different things and seeing what doesn't work. And then after a while, you'll come up with an individuated approach to composition, which I think is what most successful artists do. And that'll be influenced and inspired, of course, by the people that you think are great. Anyway, you can see this is a more long form video, and I've been getting used to doing the toneless minutes. You know, if you follow this channel, you'll know I've been rolling out those on a daily basis during the week, and it's been a lot of work, I won't lie, but it's also been good for me because it's forcing me to concentrate on saying what I need to say in a shorter amount of time, and it's also just good to share what I do. I'm a prolific guy. I do a lot of work, and especially when it's smaller work, I do quite a lot of work. And like I've said many times, I'm a big believer in doing a lot of work and getting good by doing a lot of work. So this is just makes it easier for me to share things, and also it kind of gets me in gear for processing videos and things. I recently dedicated a room in my home here to photography, so previous to that I've had to go down into the garage and, you know, move the mower out of the way and have some nice lamps down there, but they're really big and hot photography lamps, and I got a lighter and more flexible setup in this room now, so it's really a piece of cake for me to come home and just shoot something. And then a lot of times the hold up with sharing something with you is I've done all the videotaping, but what I would do is just collect a certain amount of work together, usually on a monthly or semi-monthly basis, and then do all my photography then, and then I have to do the processing of the photography, which is, you know, things like aligning the photos and straightening them out and cropping them, and then there's all these specular highlights I like to get rid of, and you know, I'm kind of wrangling with the fact I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I think some people might be able to do these things a little quicker, but we all have our crosses to bear. So anyway, the nice thing about having the little photography studio set up is that I can do a painting, and next week I can do a photo of it and marry that with the video and roll out a toneless minute. In fact, I've got a couple new ones that I just did some processing on last night that I'm going to be sharing with you on Monday. So, well, it'll be your Sunday, my Monday. Anyway, I am sticking with the longer form for these toneless videos because, well, I should say the studies after the masters, because that's what I'd done for the bulk of the series, and I'll be putting the whole series on my channel as a playlist for those of you that just want to take, you know, several hours and immerse yourself in the world of tonalist studies after masters. And speaking of that, thank you for all the new subscribers jumping on board. I think that's awesome, and I noticed a lot of people have been checking out the store on my website, and I really appreciate that. Don't hesitate to buy something. You know, I have a lot of paintings, and I really, you know, it completes the circuit when somebody buys a painting and makes it their own, and it really becomes their painting. You know, they come home every day after work and they live with it, and it's part of their life. It's something that they'll pass on to people later on, and it's just, it completes the circuit. It's really important to me to reach out to collectors and potential collectors. And you know, I sell these studies pretty reasonably. I by the way, have rolled out a discount for subscribers on my store, and that is fine art, all capital letters, and you'll get 10% discount. And as time progresses, I'm adding things to the store. There's a lot of things I have going on, but I've got a stack here on my desk of some really awesome paintings that I'm going to share with you there. And I'm just going to keep building on it. And it's taken me a long time to get to this point, mostly because I didn't really want to do something on my site that was competing with galleries, but I've kind of made my peace with that now. I think the thing is with a gallery is that they have the work that I brought to them, and or that they've selected from my body of work, and they're presenting it, they're selling it, and they're doing their thing with it. I'm not exclusive with any one gallery, and I really am into supporting my galleries, though I have to say, anytime they send a client or customer my way, whether it's online or in the vicinity of where I live or whatever, I pay them the same sort of commission as if they had sold the work out of their gallery. And the reason I do this is because I'm really a big believer in supporting galleries. I personally love galleries, and I love looking at original art in person. And as great as the online thing is, I'm hoping galleries will always be here and always be with us. And I have to say, it's a challenging business, though, and I've seen galleries come, I've seen them go, and I have so much respect and admiration for people that can run a successful gallery. And we need these people as artists. We need to have a place where the public can come and see our work in the flesh. And so I look at my store as something that's complementary to the gallery experience. And lots of times with my gallery, I might give them various certificates and things, so that if they send someone to me, they get acknowledgement and they get a commission. So now, you may not mind about any of that, but this is a long form video, and so I do like to share a bit about what I'm doing here. Now, I think I'll probably get more into what's going on in the studio in the long form video that I'm going to be rolling out tomorrow. I did just want to thank you guys for, watching and going to my site and promoting tonalism, getting into it. To me, it's the best form of painting. And I will say, I think I have just enough time here. Someone has recently loaned me a book of an Impressionist master. His name was Sisley, and I like Sisley. However, it really points up to me a lot of the reasons why I like the Barbizon guys that came before, because this sort of work that Sisley does, it reminds me of the kind of sort of silver green, blue landscapes that you see all the time. But for me personally, I'm more into a juicier sort of twilight landscape. I like a landscape that's impregnated with emotion. I'm not so into just capturing light effects of the day, and I'm not dissing that at all, but I can say, in fact, I have to say Sisley was a master of that, and I've known many artists that are into that sort of thing and into painting that way, and good on them. And there are people that like that kind of work, but what I love is people like John Francis Murphy, the guy we're doing a study of today. I mean, what a beautiful landscape and a great approach, and I can only hope, if I work hard enough one day, I can be in the same sort of area of mastery as good old John Francis. So anyway, I see we're getting close to the end. Thanks for joining me today. If you like this channel, you like the 25 Days of Tonalism, please subscribe. Also, you can go to my website, landscapepainter.co.nz. I've got a store there. You can follow my blog there. On the blog will be a nice higher resolution version of this image, and check it out. Meanwhile, we'll see you tomorrow. So until then, please take good care and stay out of trouble.